New video tonight shows the fiery crash of a Kenmore Air floatplane in the San Juan Islands. Remarkably, all 11 people on board survived. Several people are hospitalized. This is King 5 News at 11. I'm Greg Copeland.
I'm Jessica Janner Castro. The floatplane took off from Lake Union at 4:30 this afternoon with the pilot and 10 passengers. Kenmore Air says the flight was headed to Roche Harbor but went down at 5:15 off of Susha Island north of Orcas Island. King 5's Jim Nelson is live for us at St. Joseph Medical Center in Bellingham, where some of those survivors were taken. Jim?
Yeah, the latest we got from Kenmore Air is that 6 of them were taken here. Peace Health hasn't said a whole lot other than ER and trauma teams have been ready to treat survivors all night. We also saw a few ambulances going in and out of the U.S. Coast Guard station about a mile and a half away, also here in Bellingham, which makes sense because we were told that some of the people on board were first taken there. I couldn't really get a good enough look to see if anybody was actively being treated or if that was kind of a initial makeshift triage location. Now, obviously, the next step is to figure out exactly what went wrong. That will fall into the hands of the FAA and NTSB. But when you look at the video, it really is remarkable that everyone survived. That plane caught fire after going down in Shallow Bay, now resting against the rocks on Susha Island. New video shows the survivors climbing out before the plane burst into flames. 6 passengers transported here to Peace Health St. Joseph Medical Center in Bellingham, another 4 to a Peace Health facility in Friday Harbor, and the pilot, we're told, was transferred to a hospital in Mount Vernon. Injuries range from head trauma to broken bones. Crews from the Coast Guard, the Navy, the Canadian Coast Guard, and San Juan County responded by air and water. Several Good Samaritan boats also helped in the rescue. As aviation expert and longtime pilot John Nance explained to us, those federal investigators have a lot of factors to consider.
Yes, we've got some pretty good indications that weather might have had a role to play in this. Certainly, we're dealing with an Otter, which is a very, very reliable bush airplane by de Havilland, been around for many, many decades, and now powered with a turboprop engine. And certainly, the pilots of Kenmore are all very experienced and very well versed in what they're doing. So, how this all came together, whether or not it was an emergency landing that went bad, which is one of the possibilities, we don't know at this point.
And you can see on our radar that there was some active weather moving through the area around the time of the crash. As John Nance pointed out, it is possible that could have played a factor, but we'll see what those federal investigators uncover in the days and weeks to follow. Also worth mentioning, and probably not surprisingly, Kenmore Air has canceled all of its scheduled Friday flights. In Bellingham, Jim Nelson, King 5 News.
Thank you, Jim.